only we had something to change our luck. Maybe something with magical powers, like of the monetary variety? Huh, Hugo? Yeah, I guess a magic coin would be perfect. What do you mean grab it? It's not like it's right there in front of us. Oh, wow, it is right there in front of us. Good call, Hugo. Let's head down to the old pond in Midtown and make that wish come true. Wow, now that we're here, I almost don't know what to wish for. Yeah, Hugo, solving world hunger would be a good one. Yeah, I guess world peace is good too, but I have something else in mind. I'm gonna wish for the one thing this world is missing. A really cool boat. That's right, you guys. Today we are going to be building a boat. I actually just got back from vacation and it was lovely. Thank you so much for asking. God, you're so considerate. But I took a lot of pictures, a lot of inspiration from all the boats down by the beach and the marina and whatnot. And yeah, I am just super inspired. And I think I know exactly where we're going to be putting the boat. Last episode, we were out here over in the countryside area and we worked on the sniffer farm. Check out that video if you haven't. This was a lot of fun to make, and thank you guys as always for the support on that. But we built up the yellow aspens, this little aspen grove, and the sniffer pen with the farmhouse and all these fields. And I think, how cool would it be off in the distance to have a boat just kind of sailing through here, like maybe somewhere right out there. And I don't know what we're going to do with, this island, or if we're even going to keep this, but I think this would be a pretty cool place to put the boat. I think we'd get some pretty cool views of it from the city too. So like if you're leaving to go out to the countryside this way, we'd be able to see it out there, even if you come down along the paths, or if we're like coming from the horse stable over here, you can kind of get glimpses of it. So yeah, I think that's perfect. And I even have a little bit of lore for it too, as to where it's going in the world. I think I have a design that I'm pretty happy with, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the materials and get started on this build. So sit back, relax, grab a snack, whatever it is you do, and enjoy the time lapse. Also, before we take a look at the boat we just built up, I just wanted to say I hope you enjoyed that little skit at the beginning. If you guys enjoy those and you want to see more, let me know. And I wanted to give a very special shout out to my buddy Hugo, my co-star there. He really stole the show, if we're being honest, but that was a lot of fun to make. I have some cool little ideas like that, and I think, it's cool. Hugo's a part of our world now, so maybe we'll introduce more characters like that through these little skits, sketches, whatever you want to call them. I just think they're fun, and I hope you guys like them too. So let me know if you have any ideas, and if you want to see more of them. And here it is, the moment you guys have been waiting for, the boat or ship, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it just, it looks so good. I am so happy with how this turned out, like up close, far away. Oh, it's just awesome. I'll show you some views too from around the world, but for now, let's go ahead and fly over there and we can check it out up close. So I have been calling this the Copper Maiden. I think it's kind of fun little play on words, kind of like, Iron Maiden. Any of you guys are into them. But the idea, I think, is that this is a like fishing or like crabbing kind of boat. But maybe they have, like some storage here above deck, right? Some pots, maybe, who knows, maybe they found some treasure. And I think the reason they're going this way is because eventually that village over at spawn there, I want to turn that into a fishing village. So maybe they're going to dock over there and, see they're pulling up their crab traps or whatever on either side here. So for the deck itself, I used barrels, and this is the bottom texture of the barrels, and I think it looks so good, like these like old wooden planks, and it just works so well with spruce. I mean, spruce just works well with everything, but it works especially well. And then for the wheel, we have a grindstone with some lightning rods. My only concern is I don't know, like if there's a thunderstorm, if these can get struck, because they're kind of covered, but I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think about those. We already kind of talked about the details here, but you might have caught in the time lapse. I thought about like, and I don't know, I'm not great at, organics or boats yet, but I tried to put like my version of like the mermaid or whatever on the front of the ship, with these wither skeleton skulls, which I think looks pretty cool, kind of menacing. So maybe the idea is like this is an old like pirate ship that's been repurposed, and now they got these little like crab traps and everything around. Nothing on the interior yet, but I think maybe we'll save that for another day or like a live stream or something. Okay, let's talk about the boat itself. So we have these sails. I tried to do like angles so they look like they were blowing in the wind a little more instead of being like straight on, but I couldn't really get anything I was happy with. So, you know what, for my first ever boat I built, this is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I tried to make them like a little more tattered with the texturing. So obviously like we have the mushrooms into the smooth sandstone with a little bit of sand, and then some birch and birch logs. So I think that turned out well. And we got the big sail and the little sail. If I did this bigger, I would have put one here. A lot of the references I was using, right, they had some here, or even like 2 sails per mast. I think these are called the mast. But I don't know. I'm really happy with how this turned out. And the little, flags at the top, I think are a nice touch as well. And they're kind of waving in the wind, so it works out. On the side here, I did add in this little buoy. I think this was something I saw from Beans and Apple's video. But yeah, just super cool, super creative, and I really like that. So I said, you know what? Let's add those in here on both sides. And then this is kind of meant to be like the anchor. I did design an anchor with blackstone and stuff, but I don't know, it was just way too big. It didn't really fit the vibe. So maybe we can just imagine that the anchor is like, right, well, it's definitely up because they're moving, but it's chained up right now. So this is what it looks like. So use our imagination with that. And then for the actual boat itself, on the bottom is mud. Then it goes into copper, and then it's kind of split between the tuff with a nice little row of jungle. And I think that works out really nicely. I did also see a couple videos here, and I have to say, I probably watched like 100 different videos of boats in Minecraft and looked at a bunch of references. So Because I mean, again, I never done this before, but I am pretty happy with how it turned out. And I saw quite a few videos using chains like this. Almost if we go far away, it kind of looks like the boat has like stripes, or maybe it's like a little more worn. So I think that's kind of the idea there. But I wanted to add in a touch of brown, maybe almost like they're like barnacles on the side. And I think those candles, you know, from a distance kind of give that effect. Or maybe even it's like if this was a pirate ship, maybe those are like the ports where the cannons used to be or something like that. So I don't know, we gotta have to get a little bit creative with it. I know I mentioned watching like, I don't know, 100 videos about boats, but I think the most helpful was a tutorial from Builds by Zay. I'll leave a link down in the description for that, but it was basically them talking about how to build up, you know, the shape of the boat, right? So it doesn't look like it bows out way too much and, you know, becomes like a big sphere, and then how to build up this bottom part. And they also had a couple really awesome references with like the copper boat. So that's kind of what gave me inspiration for this, along with a few other like merchant schooner, I think that's the right way to say it. But along with a couple references of that. But yeah, super helpful and a lot of fun to make. But I'm not quite done with this yet. And no, not because of the interior. We'll do that another day. But because I have this little trapdoor here. And I think it could be really cool to put, I don't know, something like some chickens on leads. Try to tie them up here to make it look like, you know, we actually have the leads. Because with the lead mechanic, right, we can make it look like there's like ropes hanging in between here and stuff. Now, I don't know if it's... Now, I don't know if that's going to work. I couldn't really get it to work in my creative copy, but I want to try it out and see. Okay, so I don't really have any eggs, but I went over to our chicken restaurant there and I was able to gather up a few. So let's see if we can get a chicken from this maybe. I hope so, but I don't know, 4 is not a whole lot. Oh, okay, there we go, that's lucky. Let's see, can we get one more? No, okay, hey, that's fine, 1 for 4. I am okay with that. So if we, oh, come here little buddy. Come on, come on. There we go. I am now stuck in here. This is great. I don't think I could cheese my way out of this one. There we go. Okay. Turn that off. And then let's see. I think maybe we have to close this. Good, he's still attached. What about to like right there? Ooh. Ah. Okay, what if I take this off? Can I take this off? Okay. Is he still... I'm kind of scared to open this. I don't want to like fly out. No, okay, he's there. Okay. Awesome. You know, I kind of thought building the boat would be the hardest part of today's episode, but I guess I was wrong. I guess it's dealing with chickens. Let's do a little higher, maybe like here. Okay, so we have to go lower. Fair enough. Can we do there? That kind of works. I think that kind of looks cool. Like if we go into free cam. I guess you can't really see it. But maybe I'll add one more and do the same thing over there. I mean, I guess if nothing else, it could be like... These guys also move livestock, like they do a little bit of everything on this boat, right? They do fishing, like we got a net here. They're carrying like, I don't know, buried treasure or like shipping stuff places, and you know, they fish, they crab, they do it all. So yeah, there we go. We can add this in even though it's kind of lame and make a lure purpose for it. So there you go. Okay, that didn't take like 30 minutes or anything, but now that they're both in place, I mean, I guess it looks cool. It adds a little bit more to the boat, but I don't know if we're going to add any more today. You guys can let me know down in the comments, so if you think we should add more of these or if this is kind of a waste of time, because I'm not sure, honestly. Now, I do want to do a little bit more with the ship here today, but before we do that, I want to go ahead and plant a field or two because I want to start getting in the habit of making this world more and more beautiful and more lived in. So I think adding in some more flower fields today is going to be a great way to do that. there we have it, you guys. 3 new fields in place in the world. First off, we had this lovely, oh, it's kind of hidden, but this lovely little sunflower field, this little patch here. And I think, like, oh, dude, beautiful shot of the boat of the Copper Maiden over there. But yeah, I think that this is really nice. I mean, this whole area, like the main color that we're going for is obviously yellow. Like you have the little yellow dandelions. Now we have the yellow sunflowers. We got like the yellow scaffolding, obviously the yellow trees, yellow in the sniffers. I think that's just kind of cool to have like a color or a theme to an area, right? So we have a lot of that around here. And the sunflowers, they just make sense. So maybe we'll add some more fields in here. I don't know if I want this area to be too overkill. I do like how there's a lot of like openness to it, but there's definitely some spots we could add more. And that's exactly what I thought when I was adding in these fields over here. So the second field here today is this little lilac field, and I've been wanting to do something with purple for a long time, which is a weird sentence now that I said that out loud, but I think seriously, like this lilac color just looks so pretty, especially if we look at it, you know, from over here, like you're coming up the hill, or even if you kind of like are coming along this pathway from the city as you round the corner. It's not going to be the first thing that catches your eye, right? You're going to see like the boat, right? The main focal point of the episode, and then you see the cottage, and then as you kind of come around here, wow, you get this beautiful like purple foreground with, you know, some more purple down there, and then just kind of like your eye leading you to the horse stable. So I think this is a really nice addition. I think even having more fields like running down this hillside, probably less of like crop fields and more of like flowers, because, well, crop fields are a lot easier to tend to on the flat land like this. So maybe more like flowers kind of coming down the countryside, or the countryside, coming down the hillside rather, is going to be cool. And that's kind of where I got the idea of adding in a touch of red, but not like this, you know, more bright in your face red, but kind of a dulled red with like, if we zoom in, they have like these like darker crimson, and I mean, in fact, they're called crimson roots, but these pinks and these like darker, almost purple colors, like these undertones. So I think that the crimson roots were a nice touch, and I didn't want to do a lot, just subtle, something kind of right up against the wall here. This dilapidated little wall we built a few episodes ago. And again, I think we could add in some more flower fields along here to just kind of make this like colorful little hillside come together. Also want to point out that if I open up my map here, I think it's a nice little pop of color. We have the purple, the red, and the yellow. And I guess maybe I could remove a few of them so it's less of like this one big color, but I do kind of like it. You can see also right over here with the farmlands where we added in these flowers here among our crops. It looks cool. It's very interesting, and it's like kind of draws your eye, takes your attention on this map. And speaking of maps, how about we go update the world map? It's been a few episodes since we've done this, so I'm curious to see what we're going to have. Yeah, we don't even have like the sniffer farm over here, or I mean, a lot of the countryside. Wow, we don't even have the cottage over here, the little seaside cottage cabin thingy. Okay, let's go ahead and add this in. So I'm going to take, oh, my inventory's full. All right, so I'm going to grab these maps, if I could figure out which one's which. There we go. Yeah, we could take this one. I think we're missing some stuff in the city, sure. I think if we take these 6, actually, no, we might need these ones as well. Well, I'll just take them and update them, and let's see what we can get. Alright, there we go. Everything is now updated on here, and unfortunately the boat, the Copper Maiden, right, is just right outside of here. But everything else is in here, right? We have our little sniffer area. The rest of the countryside has been updated with our new fields all around here. And then we updated this area, and you can even see the connecting pathway between our soon-to-be fishing village and the countryside. One thing I like about these maps is that we can add in names, unlike in our world map here, although this might be a little more accurate, a little more colorful, maybe even a little more high definition. Oh, and we can see the boat, which is super cool. But I would like to add in some more names around here. So I think I have some ideas, maybe like the Sniffer Grove, or like the Sniffer Manor, or the Sniffer Farm. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think for that. And then I don't know if I just want to call this area the countryside, or if we want to come up with something a little bit better for that. But I do have a really cool name for our fishing village, but I'm going to keep gatekeeping that until we actually start working on it. But anything else is kind of free game, so let me know. Even the city, I still need a name for that. So you guys comment down below what you would like them to be named. Last thing I want to do with the boat before we wrap up here today is give the boat a captain. Now, I've been thinking, right? Every good ship has a captain. So why should this one be any different? I've done some thinking, and as much as I would love to captain this ship, that's a lot of work, right? That's kind of a full-time gig. So I think I have the perfect replacement for me, and I think you guys are going to agree that this is a great hire. That's right, you guys. The captain of the ship is none other than Hugo from our little skit in the beginning. So actually, after we were finished recording that, Hugo made a wish and said, you know what, I would love to sail the seven seas one day. And we're granting Hugo's wish. So Hugo is officially the captain, but I think it would be cruel to leave him out here alone. So we actually got Hugo a buddy, his first mate, and that is none other than Polly, the parrot. And she sits up here and watches over. She's kind of like the lookout. So, you know, maybe they're going to need to turn around this ruined portal, or if I don't break it for them soon. So Polly is in charge of that while Hugo is down there steering the ship. And I mean, who better to be a fisherman than a cat? Because cats love fish, and historically cats and water don't mix well, but Hugo isn't your average cat, right? Hugo is quite literally built different. Speaking of builds, random little side note, but I think it would be pretty cool to make like a functional interior for this. So if you guys could think of like any little like micro farms or anything that should go in here, let me know, because I want to have a reason to come back and visit Hugo and to set sail on this ship a little bit instead of just admiring it from afar. But with that, you guys, we are all finished. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Maybe consider leaving a like and a comment, maybe even, dare I say, subscribing. I know, crazy thought, but if you enjoyed it, I would really appreciate it and love to see you back here for the next video. But with that all out of the way, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.